Hi, 11th graders. I'm going to be going over the second part of the unit activity in Unit 1. And so this activity requires that you make a PowerPoint. There is a template included in both the Edmentum and on the English website. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the first two paragraphs. So that's before you get to the grievances, before you get to the 27 grievances. So take those first two paragraphs and summarize, analyze those paragraphs in your own words. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to look at the arguments, you're going to look at the grievances again, but this time you're going to look at them from another perspective. This time, you're King George, you're the head of Great Britain, and you're looking at those grievances and the statements against you, and you're making a rebuttal to those statements. So you're going to reply to the colonies, and at the end, you're going to decide, after you really look at the British perspective, which side of the conflict you agree with. So going back to the letter activity, you could be in the American colonies, you could be a patriot or a loyalist being loyal to King George and the crown. Here are 4 articles that you can link to that will give you more clarification on the British perspective, some ammunition, if you will, against the Declaration of Independence. So you're going to start out your slide, and you're going to start with a title slide. Like I said, there's a template to start with, but it's your job to make it pretty, make it visually appealing. And so incorporate pictures, make it your own, essentially. So you'll see here that I have my information, my name, my class, the date. Then I also have a visual image that really talks about the British perspective. So it gives my reader or audience a clue of what's to come. Okay, so the first slide with content, you're going to analyze the first 2 paragraphs in the Declaration of Independence. The first paragraph in the Declaration of Independence is fairly short, so I recommend analyzing or summarizing that in 3 to 4 sentences. And then here's an example sentence of maybe the first line of the first paragraph. The second paragraph in the Declaration of Independence is longer. It's a pretty long paragraph, so your analysis and summary can be a little bit longer, but make sure that this is in your own words. And so you can see with my example sentence here, I take that famous sentence of, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal," and I translate that into my own words. The social contract holds the truth that all people are entitled to equal rights. It says the same thing, but it's my modern take on what that means. And so the second paragraph will be a little bit longer. The next thing you're going to do is incorporate a picture of King George and really talk about your response just generally to the grievances. So here's my example sentence. I'm obviously not pleased about the grievances. They're all sort of attacks against my policies. So you're going to reflect that, use those resources, use those articles as guidance in terms of how King George would respond, but you're responding as though you're King George. The next slide, you're going to address King George's reasons for collecting money from the colonies. So he has his reasons. Look at those articles and see what those reasons are. This is an example that I got from one of those articles. So if you look over those, you're going to find several examples that you're going to include in this slide. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to choose 3 specific grievances that you're very offended by as King George. And so you are going to form a rebuttal or a counter argument to 3 of those grievances listed in the Declaration of Independence. Keep in mind that these links up here link you to that government document of the Declaration of Independence, so you can look at that language and utilize that. So click on those links, and that's included in the outline, the student outline of this as well. So the last thing that you're going to do on this PowerPoint is you are going to choose a side. So are you a patriot for America? So you're for the American Revolution, or are you a loyalist to Great Britain? Are you in agreement that it's treason against the king to be revolting against Great Britain, essentially. So here's an example here. You're going to have 5 bullet points where after you've read those articles and you've reviewed the Declaration of Independence from the British perspective, that you can really argue for either side. You get to pick. So have a wonderful day, and let me or any other English teacher know if you have any questions. Thank you.